What does it take to steal priceless crown jewels from the most visited museum in the world? A few thieves, a ladder, some power tools, getaway bikes, and about 7 minutes.
The French Minister of Culture confirms the Louvre has been robbed.
A hunt is underway for thieves after priceless jewels were stolen from one of the world's most famous museums.
And the craziest part of all, the museum was full of people at the time. Broad daylight, a brazen smash and grab, right after the museum opened for business. How'd the jewel thieves manage that? So the Louvre opens at 9 a.m. If you've never been there, it's this big, sprawling complex, the largest museum in the world, with a total footprint of something like 10 soccer fields. The main entrance is right here, at the base of this glass pyramid. There are a few entrances, actually, here, and here, but it's over here, the southeastern corner, where 4 thieves would create their own entry point. Everything I'm about to explain is based on information given by French government ministers, media reports, and otherwise publicly available information, especially when we get into what exactly was stolen and why it's so valuable. But let's start at the moment the heist began, about a half hour after the museum opened to visitors. This truck with an extendable ladder and mechanized lift is how thieves reached the upper floor. These ladders are pretty common in Paris. Movers use them all the time to haul furniture up and down, for example. The thieves themselves, they're wearing balaclavas and armed with angle grinders. Relatively small, powerful tools that can cut through basically anything depending on what kind of cutting disc you use. So with the right attachments, you can cut through plastic, fiberglass, even wood. A metal cutting disc can cut through steel, iron, bolts, pipes, and with a diamond disc, you can cut through brick, stone, and concrete.
This was not their first heist. You know, as a normal person, you don't wake up in the morning thinking, I become a burglar, let's start with the Louvre.
These photos show a relatively clean cut through glass. You see this vertical strip left behind. This is right atop the balcony that the ladder was propped against. It was around this time a whole series of alarms would have been triggered. If not from the exterior breach, then certainly from the moment thieves began cutting into the reinforced glass cases housing the priceless crown jewels that were stolen. Le Parisien, which is a major French daily newspaper, they published this video online, claiming it to show one of the thieves breaking into a glass case. Note the bright yellow vest, which may have helped thieves look less like burglars and more like maintenance workers. Now, it's very difficult to independently verify video like this because it's so blurry and low res, but France's prosecutor confirms investigators did recover a yellow vest at the crime scene. And if I look at the list of items that were stolen, according to France's Culture Ministry, and then cross-reference those items with their locations, according to the Louvre website, and even pinpoint that exact room to an overhead layout of the gallery. Note how room 705, where the crown jewels are, is at the exact point of the building where the thieves appear to have broken in. Then I can go even one step further and find those specific items that were stolen in publicly available video of that exact room. Here's a diamond-encrusted bodice bow, stolen. In that same case, just on the other side, this tiara was also stolen. In another case, these pieces from a sapphire set, a necklace, earrings, and a tiara, all stolen. At this point, you might be wondering, where was security in all of this? Well, according to the French prosecutor, the guards who did arrive on the scene were threatened with the same angle grinders that the thieves used to break in. It's worth remembering, the guards' number one priority is not necessarily to protect the crown jewels. It's to protect people. Think of all the visitors who were inside at the time. And all of this would have happened very quickly. According to the prosecutor, within 4 minutes, the thieves had broken in, and within 7, they were back out, fleeing on motorized bikes after attempting to set fire to the mechanized lift that granted them access to begin with. Now, you may have noticed, the French Culture Ministry lists exactly 8 objects stolen by thieves from the Louvre, but really, there were 9, and I'll show you what I mean. The first 3, a sapphire tiara, necklace, and earrings. They're from a matching set worn by 2 queens, Marie-Émilie and Hortense, hundreds of years ago. The necklace made up of 8 sapphires, 631 diamonds. These emerald pieces are from a different set belonging to Napoleon's second wife, Marie-Louise, also dating back to the early 1800s. This necklace is made up of 32 individual emeralds and more than 1,000 diamonds. Here are another 2 pieces from a matching set belonging to Empress Eugénie in the mid-1800s. More than 200 pearls, nearly 2,000 diamonds in the tiara, and the accompanying bodice bow, nearly 2,500 diamonds. And then there's this brooch designed to itself hold a religious relic. At the top, 7 diamonds surrounding a solitaire, and 87 more adorned and suspended below. That's 8 pieces, but the 9th was stolen and left behind. It's another piece belonging to Empress Eugénie, a crown featuring 8 golden eagles covered in 56 emeralds and thousands of diamonds. It was either lost or abandoned as the thieves made their escape, later found on museum property, but appearing to have been damaged in the process. The combined value of all these crown jewels, because of their historical value, impossible to measure, according to the French government. And experts say maybe impossible to recover.
There's a very small percentage in recovering stolen artworks. But when it comes to jewelry, that percentage is even less.
This is true for 2 reasons. For starters, no matter what priceless thing is stolen, they're pretty difficult to sell, right? Like, you can't exactly post them on Facebook Marketplace. And even if you did find an illicit buyer, how does that buyer show their brand new acquisition to anyone without putting themselves at great risk of being caught? But jewelry in particular, unlike, say, a painting, it can be remade into a brand new valuable thing. Gold can be melted down, precious stones cut and recut.
Once they're been cut into smaller jewels, the deed is done. It's over. We'll never see these pieces again intact.
So in an important way, there is very much a time limit to find and recover these crown jewels. And this also raises a much more difficult question about how you prevent these sort of thefts, not just at the Louvre, but at every museum with anything of value.
You can imagine that other museums in the world, and there are tens of thousands of them, smaller than the Louvre, they are watching this news and they think, well, if the Louvre can be robbed, how can we protect ourselves, you know? And they are afraid that local thieves will think, well, you know, they took it off with the Louvre, let's try our local museum. So that's the biggest fear now in the museum world.
It's appalling. It's a slap in the face of museums everywhere, and it's a wake-up call. If you have jewels or you have gold in your collections, you need to be worried.
Some experts are already calling this the heist of the decade. 7 minutes in and out, the work of seasoned professionals. But how much of it the museum and the government should have been able to prevent? That question will take much, much longer to answer.